Okay. Hello, family. Hello. Thank you all for chiming in or zooming in. So this month we have a young lady who is one of the leaders in Evolution Enterprises. She is a silver Iatan card holder for the past 2 years, which is amazing. I never knew that they had silver Iatan card holders, but that's a great thing. She is a builder and a booker and makes sure her business partners have the information they need to become the best travel agents that they can be. She is one of the awesome morning sunrise call trainers, and I love listening to her train. I really, really do. She makes it fun and holds no punches. She loves to help any agent that asks her. She is part of the Divas Empower leadership, so she's just awesome. And hold on one second, please. I apologize. My family is coming inside, and you know how family is. They come in and make the most noise. All right, so she is part of the Divas Empower leadership. And oh my goodness, what doesn't she do? So without further ado, I will bring up to you Miss Tonya Delphous. Tonya, are you on the line?
Yes, ma'am, Aretha. Thank you so much. And I just want to give it back to you, Aretha. Your energy and your can-do attitude is much appreciated. And let me re-emphasize, so my notes, the silver Iatan, I'm a silver consultant with Evolution and Archer, and I'm a 2-year Iatan card holder. So it isn't a silver Iatan, but
oh, okay. Thank you.
That's okay. That is quite all right. So I'm going to speak tonight, if I can get my screen up here, on etiquette. So can you guys see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect. Again, there's not a lot of pretty graphics or anything like that. It's more important to me to get the information out to people than being all pretty. So, and that's another reason why I don't have my video on. I look like a hot mess right now. I sound like I feel, but, and also where I live, I'm in the middle of the mountains in Idaho, and my internet is a little sketchy to say the least. So when I leave the video off, hopefully it won't get me cut off. So if I get cut off, the only way I know you guys is my screen's going to come back and tell me I'm connecting, and I'm going to ask you where I let off. So that's the only way I know I got kicked off, when it tells me it's starting to reconnect. So business etiquette. This is the basis of your business, you guys. And with us being entrepreneurs, and yes, we are entrepreneurs, being travel agents, we are our business. So the etiquette goes a little further than the bounds that we have on here. So I'm going to go over business etiquette basics, and then we'll go into stuff that's a little bit more personable and about our business and being with Evolution and Archer Travel. Again, this can be applied for any business in the world, you know, and like it says in here, business etiquette's about building strong relationships. That's our business. That is our business, building relationships. Let's see. So again, business basics vary country to country, you know, but some of the principles will stand the test of time. So there's some things that you can do every single place. There are some etiquettes for other countries, you know, that you need to learn if you go to another country. And I highly suggest that if you go to another country, find out, is it rude to extend your hand? You know, is it rude to show the bottoms of your shoes? You know, find out what that country's business etiquette is about. So again, these are pretty much the basics. Number 1, arrive on time. So if your appointment's at 5 o'clock is not on time. Honestly, in the business world, it's best to observe the old rule. 5 minutes early is late. So, you know, you want to give yourself time to walk in, get situated a little bit. You don't want to be running around like a chicken with your head cut off. So time's a commodity, you guys. We get paid because of our time that we commit to something, or we're not getting paid with the time that we commit to something. So when you're punctual, you respect yourself and everyone else who's involved with whatever it is you're attending. Number 2, dress appropriately for work or the function. Oh my gosh, you guys, I could go on this. So, you know, I'm not saying dress to the T's everywhere you go, but being clean and being presented, press clothing. So I'm going to be honest, you know, my old man didn't even think we owned an iron until I had to start going to business functions. Because if how it comes out of the dryer is how I wear it. But I don't do that when I go to my business functions. So, you know, you just want to give yourself a once over. If you don't have a full length mirror, I highly suggest going and getting one. You guys would be amazed at, you can tell people who show up to something and tags are hanging out or something's hanging out that they didn't just give themselves a once over in the mirror before walking out. You know, on here it says closed-toed shoes. But again, you know, you just don't want to be wearing flip-flops with, you know, a business attire. So use your best judgment. But again, you know, you need to figure out what is appropriate for the function that you're going to. And if you don't know, ask. You know, when I first came to Evolution, I wasn't sure what I was supposed to wear to go to this thing or that thing, or, you know, what's the dress code for this meeting? That is not out of place to ask. That is very respectful. And then they know that you're taking it serious. And then the old adage goes, dress for the job you want, not the job that you have. And that's huge. So, and again, it's saying, you know, when you're in doubt, ask someone discreetly what you can wear or what you should be wearing. You don't want to go against their protocols. Number 3, speak kindly of others. This is huge, ladies. Please and thank you go a long, long, long way. You know, I catch myself in our digital world. We're on chats and I'm belting out orders. And then all of a sudden I go, oh my gosh, I write please and thank you in one post by itself and just send it because I'm like, gosh, I sound bossy, you know, and I'm not asking these ladies, please, they're volunteering their time or they're doing this. So please and thank you are huge. Put your manners on when you walk out of the house and you're going to a business function. Do not discuss political or religious matters. You know, it's so easy to get sucked into these conversations. I do a polite nod. You know, if it's too controversial or too uncomfortable, I will excuse myself from the situation politely. You know, that is not the time or place to tell someone, you know, hey, this isn't what we should be talking about. You know, you don't want to call someone out on that, but politely remove yourself from the situation. Trust me, there's no good coming from it if you start discussing these things in a business function. Keep your conversations on non-controversial topics, and then other people will also think that you're easier to talk to. You know, it's called diplomacy, you guys, and it doesn't mean be fake. It doesn't mean, you know, that you don't have an opinion. That's not what it means. You're being diplomatic. There's a time and a place for everything. This is not the time and the place. Number 4, avoid gossip or eavesdropping. You know, and I'm not going to say so much on the gossip. I have a hard time with that just because the way I feel about it is if I wouldn't be saying that to that person's face, I'm not going to say it to somebody else. That's just me personally. That was instilled in me from the time I was a young child by my parents. But eavesdropping, I'm very bad at, you know. I'm always listening. I don't know if it's because I was a single mom of 3 kids. I could be on the telephone, listen to the TV, have the radio going and hear what all 3 of my kids were saying. You know, maybe I'm nosy. I don't know. I eavesdrop very easily. But again, you don't want to put yourself in a position that's going to make other people feel uncomfortable. Gossiping and eavesdropping are 2 very, very, very bad positions to be in when you're in business. Again, you can always politely excuse yourself, turn your chair, move to another side of the table. There are a lot of ways that you can politely exit yourself from these situations, and that's huge and that's important. And it will make people respect you all the more. Number 5, showing interest in others. So, and again, I said I was doing the basics, but I always go back to us. You know, it's showing interest. Again, don't be fake. People can see a fake smile. They can tell a fake, you know, don't be fake. You know, just don't be on your phone. Don't be on your tablet. You know, there's just lots of things you can do, and showing interest in other people means listening, you know, and I'm a big talker. Anybody who knows me knows that. I have learned over the last few years to be a good listener also. So, and again, I think that's why I get a little bit more respect when it comes to my trainings, because I learned to shut my mouth. I know that sounds silly, but it's the truth. Maintaining eye contact when you talk to people, people will always remember how you make them feel. Remember that. And nobody ever wants to feel as if they are ignored. And I'm going to go a little further into this one. You know, when we have travel parties and stuff like that, or functions with Evolution, and you go sit in a corner somewhere, you know, don't do that. Get up and make contact with people. I'm bad. I don't remember people's names, but I tell them that. I'm like, hi, I'm Tonya. Hi, I'm so-and-so. I'm like, I am so sorry. I will probably ask you that 3 or 4 more times tonight. You know, where are you from? How long have you been with the company? It's very easy to make small talk, and they know that you're being genuine. And if you really don't have an interest in them and you're doing that, they're going to tell. Number 6, watch your body language. So in the United States, a handshake is a typical greeting. You know, it's a firm and quick handshake. But, you know, if you're not sure, right now, I'm just going to tell you, in this day and age with the coronavirus, you know, me and the city clerk, we're like, hi, I'm Tonya. We were at functions and we're like, are you social isolating? Are we shaking hands? Are we doing whatever? And we're all like, yeah, we're not shaking hands. So, you know, it is awkward when we can't do the things that are our typical greetings. You know, it really feels odd. You know, hugs and different types of affection are a little out of place in the workplace. I am going to go one step further and say with Evolution, that is a little bit different. You know, you're not going to do that at a travel party with someone that you first meet. However, as you become more familiar with people, it is acceptable in our culture of Evolution to greet someone with a reached out hand and pull them in for a hug. There's nothing wrong with that in our culture, in our circle, but that may not be acceptable in others. So again, just know your boundaries and watch people's body language. You know, if they're pulling their hand back or they're doing something, you know, they're not wanting to be in that situation or touch you. And I'm sorry, but right now with the coronavirus, you know, don't be offended if someone jerks their hand back when you reach out to do them or they step back. That's the situation that we're in. So be aware of other people's body language as well as your own. Introduce yourself and others, you know, and again, you know, people can't always remember your name or your position. And especially when we're in these groups, you know, we're from all over and we all meet in one location from Evolution. You know, take the time to introduce other people to the other people in your circle or who you're sitting with or where you're at. Just make them feel comfortable. You never want someone who's with you at a function to feel uncomfortable because of something you've done or something you did not do. Just always keep that in mind. You know, how would you feel if someone brought you to this function? You know, you left them sitting in a chair and you're off and gone and doing whatever, not taking them with you to introduce them. Just be mindful of people that you invite or people you're at functions with. Number 8, don't interrupt others. So, you know, I'm going to be honest. I have a very short attention span. I'm a little bit, I shouldn't say a little bit, I'm a lot of bit ADHD on steroids as an adult. And when I have an idea, I'm so afraid I'm going to forget what it is or, you know, not remember in the next 10 seconds what it is I wanted to say. And I would just blurt it out. Well, to alleviate this problem, I started taking notes on my little notebook on my phone. That way I don't forget. You know, I open up my little memo thing in my phone and jot down what I'm thinking. That way I'm not interrupting. It takes me about 2 or 3 seconds. So not only am I not interrupting the person who is speaking, I'm able to continue listening to what they're saying without going over and over in my head what it is that was important for me to say for that, against that, whatever you want to say. All of us do that in some way, shape, or form in our brains when we're listening to someone speak. And if we can find a way to shut our brain up and listen to what they're saying, it is huge as far as diplomacy. And again, I don't know where I went. Hang on, guys. Oh, now can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, sorry. Oh, it's because
That's okay.
phone into my computer. Sorry. So you guys didn't miss me, right? It didn't kick me off, I don't think. It just lost the.
No, it didn't kick you off.
Okay, perfect. So that was don't interrupt others. Number 9, mind your mouth. Oh my gosh. You know, I was in the Marine Corps. I have a very potty mouth. And I worked at the school system, and I really had to learn how to check my language because I was around young children. And, you know, I will never remember as being a bus driver, I'd turn around to the kids and say, ooh, I didn't say any bad words, did I? Like when someone would pull out in front of me and they're like, no, ma'am, you did not. Because I'm thinking, oh, what did I say? But be cognizant of what you're saying, what comes out of your mouth. You know, swear words, judgmental language, you know, especially when we're in a diverse environment. So, and again, you know, what we would have conversations with, even the person that's at the function that we would have in our own home versus a workplace setting, you need to check ourselves. You know, what we would say at our living rooms or how we speak to each other in our living room is not necessarily a way you're going to want to speak to each other at a business function. So, and again, you know, they say speak as though someone from human resources is always listening. You know, and I say it as speak as though, you know, your grandkid is listening. You know, you don't want to be putting people down. You don't want to be brash. You don't want to be mean. You know, you want to be nurturing. You want to be happy. You want to be uplifted, you know, and you can still do those things even when we're talking about really bad scenarios. It's truly possible. Just be very cognizant of it. And you guys, honestly, when it came to public speaking, I would practice. I talk in the mirror and look at myself because I was like, what am I doing that weird thing with my mouth for every time I do this? Or why am I fidgeting? Or so, you know, practice. If we practice at home, how we're going to act in public, it kind of becomes second nature. And not only will your business associates appreciate it, so will your family or your friends or the other people that you're around. Again, there's a time and a place for everything, sometimes. So number 10, consume food and drink correctly. So as far as alcohol, I'll get through that a little bit later. But, you know, again, if you're at a travel training and you bring in, I don't know, I'm trying to think of something that smells really bad when you eat it, sardines, okay? Or something that smells bad, you know, when you're in it, you don't want to do that. You know, you don't want everybody else smelling your food. And please don't make noises when you're eating. Nobody wants to hear that. Close your mouth when you're eating. Try not to speak when you're, and again, we get excited. And some of us, you know, I'm not a big drinker. I used to be in my day. I choose not to drink any alcohol when I'm at a function because it makes me really loose and I don't like to be, you know what I'm saying, absent of my controls. Now, if we're on the beach playing volleyball, sure, I'm going to throw a couple back. But when we're in a business meeting or at a restaurant or something like that, I choose not to drink. That's my personal choice because I want to be in control of all my faculties. So that's secure, embrace the basics of etiquette. So that is basic business etiquette. Now we're going to talk about major no-no etiquettes when dealing with vendors at vendor events. This is Archer and Evolution specific. Number 1, never, ever, ever, ever use vendors or vendors events to recruit. Ever, 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 ever. If you're hosting a local travel training or event and you're a team builder, I'm a team builder and a booker, you guys, but you need to host them separately. So it's highly frowned upon. And Archer can and will be reprimanded by the vendor in many negative ways, including being dropped by that vendor when and if this behavior occurs. And if you think Archer's not going to hear about it, you are sadly mistaken, because that's the first thing they're going to do is go to Archer and say, who's this agent so-and-so? You know, she was using us to recruit and doing whatever. And never, ever, ever recruit the vendors or the agents of the vendors at an event. Huge. I think I don't have to reiterate this. I think I've been pretty strong about this point. So recruiting and vendor events need to be 2 separate events. Drinking alcohol. Archer, even Ron Archer has said, he strongly suggests that this is not the time or the place to tie one on. Now, does that mean don't drink at all? No, that is not what they're saying. If they offer you a drink or wine with dinner or something like that, we are more than gracious and are willing to accept that. The point is, it's not the time or place to get your drink on, okay? It's not a party atmosphere when you're at these vendor events or when you're at these events with other people. You have to remember, we're representatives of our entire network. Not only ourselves and our personal brand, but the vendors we utilize for our clients and Evolution and Archer. We always need to portray ourselves in a positive manner. You know, and this includes you guys when we go on fam trips, when we go on group outings with Evolution and Archer, you know, when you're on private vacation on your own, you know, if anybody knows out there that you're a travel agent and you're doing something, cutting up and doing, I don't know, peeing in the fountain or whatever you want to call it, you know, that's not going to reflect good on Archer and Evolution. It isn't just portraying on you. We have to be cognizant of that at all times. Does that mean you can't cut up and have fun? No, absolutely not. But if it's a function for Evolution, Archer, or for your travel business, you need to be fully aware of these things not to do. Telephones. Oh my gosh, this is going to make me insane and crazy. So you need to shut the phone volume off. You can put it on vibrate. You know, if you can't shut it off completely, at least put it on, be quiet. There are plenty of times. All of us are travel agents, especially right now, you guys. I had to go to several meetings and I had to excuse myself 2 or 3 times from one meeting because I was waiting for vendors to call me back or the clients to call me back with the stuff that's going on right now. I stood up, politely excused myself. I really have to take this. I'll be right back. I walk out of the room, go outside, call the people back, get the information that I needed. Now the vendor one, I answered the phone while I was walking out because I didn't want him to hang up. I didn't want it to go to voicemail because I'd been on hold for hours earlier in the day. But, you know, again, be polite, excuse yourself and take the call or message. Don't sit at the table. Don't sit there and overrun the conversation, especially if you're in a meeting. Just walk away and take care of your business. And that's for anywhere, literally. Even if it's in a relaxed setting, you don't want people's all eyes on you when that's not the purpose of your gathering. Company trainings and informational Zooms and calls. Number 1, please, please, please mute your lines once you connect. This is a must, you guys. So everybody's given up their time and energy to put on trainings for you or get on the line to listen alongside of you. Be respectful of them. We cannot hear the people who are speaking if you have your lines unmuted, and no matter how far away you think it is or that your microphone's not picking it up, trust me, it is. If you're in your car and you have your window cracked, you would not believe what an awful howling noise that makes on the other end. You might not hear it, but we can. Mute your lines when you get on Zooms and call-ins. And again, if you're not stationary, you guys, turn off your video. It is so distracting. You know, and when you're up here, and what I'm going to say is, you know, if you're walking around or you're cleaning or you're in a car, I about got car sick watching somebody because of how they had their phone sitting there and everything's whizzing past and it was right above the speaker that was calling. So if you're not stationary, sitting still, and again, if you're eating food, shut your thing off. Nobody wants to watch you eat, you know. And again, I know I'm kind of sounding rude to you guys, but this is things that we don't always think about. It's very distracting to other people, and it can be taken as disrespectful to the people who are giving the trainings. So treat all these meetings, meaning the Zoom calls and the Zoom calls, the call-ins, you know, whether you're in person or not, treat them with all the respect you would to others in an actual meeting room. You know, and if you can do this all the time, this will be your best practice. You know, if you're sitting at home and you're conducting yourself in a business-like manner on Zoom, you're going to be able to do that with your clients. You're going to be able to do that with your grandkids. I mean, it is the best practice. You know, you put your best self out there all the time. And I'm not saying put on tons of makeup, do your hair, just be respectful of everybody's time. So we'll move into social media. What you say does matter. So everybody here, I'm sure, has a Facebook page. Do a checkup. I do one every 3 months. When I do my quarterlies for my other businesses, I do a checkup on my Facebook page. God's honest truth. You know, I'm not perfect. I let things slip every once in a while. You know, are there posts that do not portray me in a positive manner? That's the first thing I go through and look, because at whatever time it was that I was posting something, I might not feel that way or have that same opinion or outlook on it 3 months later that I did back then. And if you think people that aren't following you aren't going through your timeline and looking at things you post, you are sadly mistaken, because they will. I'm one of the best Facebook trollers out there. When a new person comes to me and wants to join my team, that's the first thing I do. Do they have a Facebook profile? Do they have an Instagram profile? Do they have a Twitter feed? You think I'm not looking at that stuff? Oh, heck yes, I am. And you know, it makes me wonder, do I want to do business with this person, or do I not want to do business with this person? And you know, we can be picky like that. This is our business. So again, do a checkup on your Facebook page. How often you do it, that's entirely up to you. You know, and again, if it's something that doesn't portray you in a positive manner, there's nothing wrong with going and back and deleting it. You probably had a darn good reason for posting it. Does it really matter now? If not, delete. It really isn't a big deal. So does it state on your profile information of what you do? You know, does it say anywhere on your Facebook profile when someone goes to your page that you're a travel agent? You would not believe how many of my partners have come to me and they're like, Tonya, I'm posting all these ads and I'm doing this, and I've gotten not one response. I open up and go to their Facebook page and I'm like, what? You know, it doesn't say anything about you being a travel agent. Nowhere on your page. You know, in the about column, where they work at, there's a lot of things you can do on your Facebook page that will tell people when they go to your profile what you do. You can do that on your personal page. You can do it on a business page. You know, it doesn't matter. No secret agents allowed. Add the information somewhere. Now we're going to move to other agents' posts. Oh my gosh. So it is so great to comment or like to help them boost their post. That is showing camaraderie. That's showing that you support them, you know, whatever. Do not ask them if you can share the content in their comments, please. Do this in private messenger. Take it to private messenger. Do not point out mistakes in their post in the comments. Again, do this in private messenger. And do not, absolutely, under any circumstances, address commenters within their marketing posts for recruitment or booking for yourself. This is a major no-no and will not be tolerated in any way, shape, or form. We don't play that way. We don't play that way at all. You know, and be mindful of what they are posting. They're posting it for a reason. Why are they posting what they're posting? Is it to create comments for other people who wouldn't normally interact with them? Are they posting it for people to know what they're offering as far as their travel deals? Are they posting it to get a reaction? You know, maybe that might be it. That might be the way they recruit. We don't know. Be mindful of what they are posting and why they are posting it. We're all in business. Again, we've heard it said countless times. You're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. Just, you know, I can't stress enough, you guys, if you have any questions, you know, and the biggest thing, and I'll jump back up a little bit. So what I'm talking about in the comments, you know, people are like, oh, this is so great. Can I share that? Or can I share this? I might do something little like hashtag repost, you know, but again, these are people that I've already contacted in private messenger, and they know, they've told me, oh, go ahead and share my stuff. You know, you might work a rapport with them. And then again, if you comment on their thing, it's going to go farther. And someone who's not in our business isn't going to take offense by that hashtag repost, you know, it meant it's, or I'll put repost worthy or something along that. But, you know, when you're asking them, or they'll share a special, like on Carnival, I'm just going to use that for an example. And it says Carnival Cruise Lines, you know, they're giving you the bank, and someone says, oh my gosh, where did you find that? Is that in our back office? Do not do that in the comments, you guys. They are putting that out there for their clients to answer, to comment, not for other agents to find out where they got the information. Take that up in private. Take it up in private. That's what I meant by that. So, and then again, if you wish to use the content that they have, always ask permission, you guys, via private messenger. So a lot of people with the time or have things made for them, they pay money for it. Don't just start sharing blindly when you start sharing people's posts. If there's content in there, you know, ask them permission via private messenger, not in the comment section. Oh, there it is. Do not ask them where they found that information. Take it to private messenger. And the share feature. So again, if someone tells you, yes, please use my content, please use my information, don't use the share button, you guys. And a lot of people don't understand this. You know, if you hit share, and that's one going to somebody's cruise client or advertising a cruise, when you hit share, it now gives them that agent stuff. If someone contacts, so I'm going to use Aretha and I. Aretha told me I could share her post for Carnival Cruise Line. I hit share. Aretha gets a phone call from one of my clients. She don't know it's one of my clients, and says, oh, or an email, because what I shared it shared Aretha's contact information. Aretha's going to book them. And then all of a sudden I see my friend Joe is on one of Aretha's cruises and he's commenting about it. And I'm going to go, Aretha, how'd you get my dude on your cruise? She'd go, I didn't know that was your client. And how would she? She'd have no clue. It's because I shared her post, you know, and we're not out to take people's clients or do whatever. So I tell all my partners, do not use the share feature. Copy and paste whatever it is and make it your own. Put your own phone number on the post. Put your own email address in there. Put your own link to your webpage in there. Don't share my stuff, because if one of your clients contacts me, I have no way of knowing that. No way, shape, or form. And then do not spam people in private messenger. Oh my gosh. Or by tagging them in your posts. Now, there is a time and a place to tag people in your post. We do it a lot for our divas. I do it a lot for my upline, you know, but you start tagging a bunch of people in your post and that shows up on their timeline, they're going to get irritated and they're going to block you or do whatever. Please don't do it, you guys. It's basically spam when you're tagging people. There is a time and a place to tag people, but doing it in every single advertisement or every single post that you do is 100% unnecessary and totally irritating. And then number 10, and I have to remember this because I have a very dark sense of humor. Understand that your sense of humor is not universal. I couldn't tell you how many times I put up a post and not even 5 minutes later took it down because my daughter or someone's on the line going, Mom, take that off there. That is so not right. Do you know what that means? So, because I don't understand it. I'm older and it might be something that I thought was funny that one of their friends shared or whatever, especially these memes. So unless you're sending a private message, your social media posts reach well beyond your friends and family members. We all know that. That's why it's so effective. So what flies in home, what flies in the locker room might not be kosher in a setting where different people with different backgrounds are going to see it. And this doesn't mean you can't use well-placed humor in the post, you guys. Just make sure it's appropriate. And I'm sorry that I giggle because this just happened to me today. So anyway, don't be reactive. It is so easy to get sucked in, you guys. So easy. I cannot stress this enough. You know, and people are much more brave with their words when they're typing on a keyboard or on their phone. Just, you guys, be respectful. Don't publicly call somebody out for wrongdoing online, no matter how it starts. It's not constructive. It's not proactive. Don't be reactive, be proactive. So you can also alienate people, you know, by getting into it with somebody in a heated debate online. I can't stress enough, you know, and down at the bottom of this one, it says, you know, if you're a senior employee, such as a vice president or public relations specialist, or you're an entrepreneur, you know, we are our employer or our host agency or our clients, they can take action against us or not use us. even if the dispute has nothing to do with our job. You know, the dispute could be over politics. It could be over religion. It could be over anything. Just be always cognizant that what you're doing on public media is just like putting an ad in the newspaper with your name attached to it. Remember that. So if you don't want people to know about it, you ought not to be texting it or typing it. Number 12, avoid oversharing. And again, this is kind of tricky, you guys. Too much of anything is not good, you know. So I do have a Facebook business page, and I also have my personal page. I also have a separate page for my community and my Divas in Power. Then we have, I mean, I have so many pages. I could go on and on and on, you know, and each one has a different purpose. You know, I'm talking about what we're talking about right now is your personal Facebook page, not your business page, not your other pages that have an agenda. Your social media feed shouldn't read like a monologue. You don't want them to be boring, you know, I mean, and sharing your personal stuff is amazing. It really is. But oversharing, you know, I mean, it's a really good way to turn people off. And even if you don't use your personal account for any professional purpose, your social presence is a huge part of your personal brand. Again, you are your own business as a travel agent. So, you know, you are your brand, whether you realize that at this point or not, you are your own brand. And that it does mean your personal Facebook page. Again, find things that are interesting, engaging, and, you know, make sure they're interesting and engaging to you too, you know, and representative of your best characteristics. You just don't want to dilute it with a lot of nonsense and things that people are going to find irrational, irrelevant. I could go on and on and on. And again, don't misrepresent yourself, you guys. Dishonesty is a huge no-no professionally. That's professional death, especially on social media. It might feel really easy to misrepresent yourself when you're hiding behind a screen, but, you know, innocent embellishments, creating a more impressive title, or it goes beyond bragging, you guys. You know, when you're one-upping somebody or taking credit of the achievements of other people, it's a major no-no. Just don't do it. Honesty is the best policy. Transparency is huge. And again, these young people that are used to the media, you know, they can smell that stuff a mile away. It takes me a little while. I got to read between the lines sometimes, but so the final word, social media has tremendous power. It's important to follow proper etiquette when you engage with other users. So you want to avoid extensive self-promotion, maintain a respectful sense of humor. Most best practices are simply a high-tech version of old school etiquette. God's honest truth, that's it. But the social media world moves way faster than the offline world. So it's very critical to think about the effects that your words, your pictures, and your videos will have before sharing them with hundreds and thousands of your peers. Digital denizens are not always quick to forgive. Remember that. So that's all I have for tonight. Aretha, if people have questions or comments or anything, I'm willing to help you out here. I'm going to stop sharing my screen.
I'm gonna pipe in. That was great training, Tonya. I learned a lot from what you had to say. Pretty much a straight and arrow in terms of what I post. And I follow a lot of like Ray Higdon's, and like I'm doing in the middle of this 14-day challenge right now. So a lot of the things that you're saying is what he's mentioning in his challenge. And as far as, you know, sharing other people's posts, I'm glad you said that, because I didn't know that when you shared a post that it has that information in there, and that someone else could see that as being your post, even though it's not. So, and another thing, I'm a super casual dresser. So when it comes to events, I can dress up, but I'm glad you made a point of saying just look, you know, 100% decent all the time. I look decent, but I'm a jeans and t-shirt person. So when I go to some events, I'm casually dressed in jeans and t-shirts.
Right, and Andrea, with our company, You know, all you have to do is reach out to the host or whoever's having the event. You know, is there a dress code for this thing? And they're going to tell you, oh no, come in, you know, casual. They're going to tell you what the dress code is. You know, when I meet my business partners at Pizza Hut, I don't expect them to be dressed to the nines. You know, got jeans and hoodies on. That's totally okay. But you know, every single one of them asked me, what's the dress code?
Okay. Okay.
Well, Tonya, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I want to say something that I did myself. I'm gonna put myself on blast. I never did Facebook Lives. And when I was taught to do a Facebook Live and I did it, I thought that the Facebook Live was only going to people that I had on my page. I didn't know that it was going to everybody. So when I did the Facebook Live, I did it on, I believe I did it on the Maryland Mission page, and that's only Evolution agents. So a friend of mine called me up one day and said, hey, I saw your live. I said, my what? They said, I saw your live. And I was like, my live? How did you see my live? So I found out the hard way that your Facebook Lives go everywhere. It goes to everybody. So I was calling out names like, you know, Tony Ward is an awesome person to do trainings and blah, 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 blah. And it was like, well, you were saying these names. I don't know who these people are. And I felt so bad and so embarrassed. So the next time I did my live, I know now what to say, how to act and what not to say, because everybody hears your lives. I wish somebody would have told me that before time, but yeah, I found out the hard way about that one. But thank you, Tonya. I really appreciate you doing the training. Are there any questions from anyone or any comments anybody wants to say about the training or about something that they did? Any questions?
In response to what you just said, Aretha, you can make settings on your Facebook Live. You can set it to public or to only friends, or to, if you have a group, just to that group. You just have to know that once you're live, you have to look at that. You have to look at the top of that live to see where it's going to, so that you can create the settings. You can even go live to yourself and then post it afterwards.
Oh, see, I don't know. I didn't know, and I don't know about doing that, but I'm gonna find out.
But thank you, Tonya. This was great information.
Thank you, Tonya. Any other questions? Any other comments? Kim Ward said, I have many entrepreneurs on my Facebook page. I wish I could show this to them. And great information. She says that she didn't know something that you were saying. Andrea says, copy the right cat, but make it your own. Yep. So this was good. This was good.
Yeah, and Aretha, you recorded this, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Is Kim on your team?
Yes, she is.
So you are more than welcome to share that with them. I asked Aretha to record it for me so I can put it on my YouTube channel. And then you are more than welcome also, Aretha, to share it with your partners. Now that you have the recording, you can either send them the MP4 file. Do you know how to do that? If not, I'll get
and I'll probably
about that later.
Yes.
Yeah, we can talk about that afterwards, but you are more than welcome to share anything that I do on your trainings with anyone, anytime within Evolution Travel. So
thank you. I appreciate it. I really do. So any other questions, comments? If not, we will let Tonya go back to her gazillion things that she does. She's a very busy woman. I appreciate you taking the time out to give us this training. It was really, really good. A lot of things that you said. I know that you did this during the morning call, but of course, you know, sometimes you need to hear things 2, 3, 5, maybe 10 times to remember and to have it, you know, posted or pasted into your head. But this was good information, so I really appreciate you.
exactly. And again, Aretha, you know, when it comes to getting back to the basics, you know, I'll never be too big for my britches, you know, and I learned that from Tony Ward and from other top leaders in our company. You know, we always have to go back to the basics. You know, when you hit a block or hit a problem, normally if you stop what you're doing and reflect on what you're doing, you're going to find the missing link or find what you're missing or what you didn't do or maybe what you shouldn't be doing, you know? So all
Right.
back to the basics can never hurt any of us ever. And it's always
Right.
to reflect and take that inventory of ourselves.
Yep.
So thank
That's
you
very
so much
true.
for having me. I really, really appreciate you. You are awesome. You rock.
Not more than you. I want to be like you when I grow up.
Be careful what you wish for, sister.
Yeah. I say that to Tony Ward too. So I guess I'm gonna be a combination of everybody. But this was
There you
awesome.
go.
So thank you. So if
Thank
no
you.
other questions or comments, this call is over. I will stop the recording now. And Tonya, we will talk about the recordings later.
Whenever
Okay.
you're ready, just hit me up.
All right. Do you want to receive an email notification when the cloud recording is ready? I guess I say yes, right?